Scott Brown. You know him as the guy who took down Pocahontas. Scott Brown, welcome to the James Show. It's an honor to have you, sir.
Well, it's great to be on. I love your intro with the music, too. My band has opened up for Skid Row, and, I was just practicing for the last hour and a half some great old rock songs. I love that song, too, so good on you.
Wait, you're in a band? Is that a joke, or are you really in a band?
No. We, Scott Brown and the Diplomats, we tour all over New England. We may be down at the convention, we may be down in the convention. Playing, so we're psyched.
Y'all should play the Tomahawk Chop. Do y'all do that already? Y'all squeeze that in there? It's only like 6 notes.
We can certainly do that.
Oh, that'd be amazing. All right, well, let's talk about politics for a second, because that's why I brought you in here. The economy, it's dragging Biden down, but not by much. However, inflation is kind of bouncing back this year. Is this going to hurt him?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, he's going around talking about Bidenomics like it's this amazing tool. It's not, and it's all smoke and mirrors. You just referenced it in your story. How can we borrow $1.1 trillion in the first 6 months of the year and expect us to be, financially stable? We can't do that in our homes. We can't do it in our businesses, but the federal government can. Listen, you've heard this before, but here's what the election is really coming down to. Immigration, which affects, obviously, you folks dramatically. It affects us here. We have a northern border, and all of our Border Patrol folks are down south. And then you have, obviously, the economy to include inflation, energy prices, gas is going back up again, obviously. I do a lot of the food shopping, actually most of it. Eggs, $3.88 yesterday. When I came back from Ambassador in New Zealand, it was $1.72. You can't make this stuff up, and no matter how much smoke and mirrors the president puts forth, it doesn't work. And if I just may add one more thing. So people, you see Biden bumbling and fumbling. I know him. I like him. I've worked with him. But he's having some challenges. We all know it. And then you have Kamala Harris, laughing and smiling through everything. She's clueless. But you have some very intelligent idealistic young people who are working on those unelected, unaccountable bureaucratic seats, like Lena Khan at the FTC, trying to basically destroy our high-tech companies, and Biden and his people are going along with it, and we got to stop it.
Yeah, so tell me about some of those reforms that they're being made, because, the timing here we should all be skeptical of. All of a sudden, Biden cares about credit card fees and overdraft fees, and the FTC's doing all these other tweaks and turns. Clearly, this is politically motivated, and they're trying to stop the bleeding.
Of course it's politically motivated. When the Supreme Court says you can't do loan forgiveness, they do it anyway. And, quite frankly, I'm a little surprised that the Republicans don't, hold his feet to the fire. They're trying to buy votes. They're trying to, and people need to know when the people that are here illegally come in illegally, they're still counted in the census. And that affects, the amount of representation you have in your House seats, especially. There is a plan, and it's not a good plan. But, yeah, listen, with the FTC in particular and a lot of the agencies, they're doing and giving away anything and everything they can and trying to basically put a wet blanket on our innovators. For example, you won't be able to get Google Maps, or you won't be able to, have the iPhone and put your photos on an app anymore, because they're trying to basically have a standard that's not a real standard, instead of basing it on costs, i.e. the amount of money people are saving every day they go and shop with these, the Walmarts, the Amazon, whatever. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. But, we're at a time where people do not have $1,000 of emergency funding to protect themselves. And then they want to keep adding and adding. Listen, inflation's out of control. People aren't stupid. And they're going to take these issues to the ballot box.
Well, Scott Brown, you wrote an op-ed last week talking about their attack on big business and hinted at the fact that Amazon and Apple could be broken up. What's going on with that? Why doesn't the Biden administration, or just generally speaking, big government, why don't they like these companies?
Because they're too powerful, and they don't like people in groups and entities that have power. And if you don't, there's plenty of other ways to go around it. You don't like it, change the channel. If you're listening to a radio or TV station, you don't like where they're shopping, well, go somewhere else. But to think that you're going to impose an arbitrary standard of, oh, by the way, when you get to X amount, you're too big and we're going to break you up, that's just not right. Because if, in fact, that happens, okay, especially with a lot of the things that they're doing to basically, kneecap our high-tech industry, President Xi and the Chinese Communist Party are going to be, cracking champagne bottles, because what they're saying is that we're going to give China and other bad actors and other businesses a back door into our tech innovators. And as you know, especially being in Texas, obviously, and up here in the Northeast and in Massachusetts and down in the Carolinas, where all the high-tech industries are, these innovators are job creators, and we have the number one tech industry in the world, and China wants it. And listen, you have these people that are just out of touch with reality. They're doing everything they can to focus on how to hurt America versus how to go after the people that are hurting America, the people that are coming in here illegally, the bureaucrats who are trying to destroy competition. And, it's upside down, man. I tell you, I can't make this stuff up.
So many of these issues feels like they would be solved if we just taught economics a little better, or probably the right kind of economics, not Keynesian. But Scott Brown, former senator, thank you for being on the James Show.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend almost.
All right, we're going to go look up some of his music on YouTube.